Hey, what's up, buds? Welcome to another Wake Up Wednesday with Nat. I'm so happy that you're here. How are you doing? How has the last week been? Well, if I'm being honest, I suffered a little bit of a loss over the last week that I wanted to share with you today and give you some tips on what I have found useful for moving through that loss and how to bounce back quicker. Bouncing back quicker and shortening that time it takes you to get back up is called resilience, and building resilience is huge. So, for me, a few days ago, I was competing for the international contest of Toastmasters, if any of you are familiar with that. It's a big deal. The winners advancing through each of the levels get to go on to the World Championship of Public Speaking, hopefully coming out on top to be the 2023 World Champion. I had advanced to the third level. I felt ready. I felt prepared. I practiced. I'd spent time, energy, and even money investing on my preparation. And I felt like I had it in the bag. I show up on contest day, and never would I have imagined this, but I blanked. I completely blanked out on my story, on my speech. Something that I'd rehearsed over and over and over, I completely blanked. I didn't freeze, meaning I didn't just stand there, I didn't walk off stage, I didn't panic, but I blanked. And I didn't end up placing at all. You either place first or second, nothing else matters from there, and I didn't place. I lost, and I felt defeated. I felt disappointed in myself that I didn't bring my A game. But here's what I want to share with you and why I thought it was important to talk about this today. Because I'm curious, what do you do after you've experienced a loss? You can call it failure or a loss. A loss could be, maybe you're in real estate or sales and you lost a bid or a big project, or you lost a client. Maybe you were trying to get a promotion and you lost to the coworker that sits on the other side of your cubicle. A loss can come in many different forms. And so what is it that your reaction looks like when you experience a loss? Just think about it for a minute. Well, I'm going to give you 3 tips that are going to combat some of the most common things that people do when they experience loss, preventing them from bouncing back quicker. Number 1, the first one is going to be to manage your self-talk, because guess what? The minute we fail, all of that starts on repeat in our heads. You're not good enough. What were you thinking? You're stupid. You're not enough. You're not smart. You're not good looking. What made you think you could even do this? Why did you even try? And so on and so forth. And it'll just start going like this. So the first thing is to manage that self-talk. Now, I don't mean start thinking positively and pretending that it didn't happen. What I do mean is that instead of saying, oh, man, I'm so stupid, I can't believe I blew it, instead, try talking to yourself from the frame of mind of maybe something you would say to a friend or a loved one, and use it as a moment of reflection and learning. So here's what I mean. All right, Nat, that didn't go so well. That actually sucked. Did you learn anything from it? Are there any positives? Yeah, there's some positives. Okay. What would you do differently next time? How can you better prepare next time so that it doesn't happen again? And so it gets you in that mindset of growth, opportunity, and learning, because we can only learn to improve and do better the next time if we reflect on what went wrong, but also more importantly on what we did well. So we want to take that opportunity to get us thinking into the future. If we get stuck thinking about the past and beating ourselves up over and over and over again about how we blew it, we'll get stuck there. And ruminating in the past leads to depression, anxiety, stress, more negative self-talk, self-hate, despair, all of those things that we really want to avoid. So after you've managed your self-talk and you reflected on the good things or the things that went well, or I should say, and the things that you want to do better next time, that'll get you thinking into the future. And when we can think about the future, we become hopeful, we become motivated. That's where you want to be, into the future, not into the past. All right, tip number 2 is going to be to let yourself feel the feelings. So managing negative self-talk does not mean just pretending it didn't happen. It sucked, whatever it was. Maybe you lost a big client for work. It was a lot of money. There goes your bonus. If you really wanted a promotion or a new job and you didn't get it, and you know it's because you didn't perform your best, feel that. Cry about it if you need to. Be upset. Punch a pillow. Go for a run. Do whatever it is to let yourself feel that it sucks for a minute. New research shows that if we allow ourselves to feel the negative emotions and also pay attention to where they're sitting in our body, like maybe we're holding our breath or maybe we're just like clenched because we're so upset. If you pay attention to where it is in your body, it'll pass within 90 seconds. That allows us to move on so much quicker from that negative experience. This is huge, you all, in resilience and bouncing back. The third tip I'm going to give you today is to make sure you keep all your other commitments. I am so guilty of the minute I have a bad experience or a bad interaction, I just chalk it up to an entire bad day, which isn't the case. And I start missing the next opportunity I have to turn things around. So if I am supposed to be going to the gym the next 3 days, I start saying, hey, I'm not going to go to the gym because I just had a bad experience. So now I have to sit here and dwell for the next 3 days and cancel plans with friends or not commit to some of the other things that are important to me, like working on my website, creating this content for you all. Whatever it is for you, whenever you have other commitments, don't push them out, stick to them. We also want to stay in that momentum and that action, because if we just stop and again dwell, it's going to put us into a hole and it'll make us feel more in despair. So let's recap. The first tip I have when you experience a loss is to manage your negative self-talk. Instead, reflect, pick out what you could do better next time, and try to also acknowledge what went well. Tip number 2 was allow yourself to feel the feelings, the real feelings that come up from that loss. And the third tip was for you to continue to keep the commitments following that negative experience, so that you keep your momentum and don't start to feel worse and fall off the wagon on some of your other important things you've got going on. I hope you found this useful. Leave me a comment below on what you liked most. I hope you have an incredible week. Thank you for being here. And remember, whatever you are going through, tomorrow's a new day. This too really shall pass. You won't be stuck in it forever. I love you. I care about you. I see you. I believe in you. Until next time, buds, have a great week. Bye.